Is there ease of doing business in India? In this video, I will talk about ease of doing business in India. Hi guys, my name is Himanshu Bansal and you're watching my channel. Now, I will tell you about 10 points why I think that there is no ease of doing business in India. First of all, this is not a video to point out any negative things about India or any negative things about the business environment or the policies, government policies in India, but this is actually ground reality which I am discussing with you. I have seen the ground reality and seen what are the changes that has happened in India, because it was 2013, 2014, 15 where the Indian government started to promote ease of doing business. But is there actually ease of doing business in India? I do not think so. There are 10 points why I think that there is no ease of doing business in India. The first point is bureaucracy. This is one point which is a big hindrance when it comes to any sort of developmental project or any sort of entrepreneurship projects or any sort of startup projects or any sort of new thing which is happening in India. Bureaucracy is present in all government organizations, even in private organizations, and even in the minds of the people of India. Bureaucracy is so deep rooted in our society, in the Indian society, that a person who wants to start off a business, people do not support him or her, and everyone is in their own ego not to allow the other person to do something different for the society. The second point is corruption. Corruption is another thing which is also related to bureaucracy, but yes, corruption is something which many startups, many new entrepreneurs, many new business owners have to face, just because so that their work gets done in a specified time span. There are some organizations which are doing really well, which are doing exceptionally well in promoting startups, but I think that is not at all enough. We need a lot of these sort of people to promote that business environment in India. The third thing is time management. Time management in India is very poor. Time management in India is really poor, and I would say that people here do not want to finish off things in time, do not want to finish off infrastructure projects, real estate projects, or maybe some other developmental activities in time. They always are ready to delay the projects. They are always ready to delay the project files, delay the files, the applications submitted by startups or from new business owners. So this is something which wastes a lot of time of new businessmen, of new startups. And time is something which people say that time and money are equal, but in my opinion, time is much more important as compared to money, because when you are saving time, you are increasing your productivity, you are increasing the rate of growth in your economy. The fourth point is business culture. Business culture in India is very unethical, I would say. I'm not saying that, I'm not painting everyone with the same brush that all organizations are unethical, but yes, there are some ethical organizations, but most of the organizations are unethical. And because of that unethical sort of nature, what they do is they waste time and money and energy of startups in for their own financial gain. To give you an example, there are many digital marketing and many SEO companies being opened up all over India. The job of all these companies are simply to take money from startups, and what they do is they offer them really expensive plans, and they say that your website will be up on Google in 6 months, in 12 months. And what they do is they deliberately make that process so slow that 6 months takes 9 months, 9 months takes 12 months, and the process goes on and on and on. And the startup, which must have taken off in a year's time, takes around 2 years, 3 years. These companies have gained money, but the startup has ran out of money, and the startup is forced to get closed. So this is something which is really bad in India, that people here are just concerned with their own growth. They are not at all concerned with the growth of startups or the clients which they have. Number 5 is government policies and taxation. Government policies and taxations, I do not want to point out any particular government, any particular political party or anything, but I think overall, whether it is state governments, central governments, or all the governments in India, their policies and their taxation laws have not at all helped any businessman in India. Yes, they have helped some of the businessmen to rob money and escape the country, but these laws have not at all helped effective and efficient and honest business owners to make a mark in this country. And this is something which everyone is really fed up of. So I think government policies in India, government laws in India are so vague and stringent that people do not want to put their hands when it comes to business. And this has to ease up, this has to go, because we cannot have a business environment with the threat of an income tax officer or a government on your head to follow laws and everything. The sixth point is bank support. Banks in India are supporting these policies, are supporting startups, are supporting people who are supporting new entrepreneurs. They are not doing as much as what is required. There are many people who fail to start off a business because they have a good idea, but just because the bank manager or the loan manager does not believe in that idea, they do not get that loan. And in recent years, we have also seen that these bank people can get indulged in corruption and give loans to big default businessmen, but they will not give loans to innocent people. They will not give loans to honest people who will definitely pay their loans back. And because of this, their NPAs are also increasing, but there is no scope of improvement. I remember a case where there was a society where some like underprivileged people were being trained for different sort of activities like designing and other sort of skills. And there was this person who wanted a loan of 50,000 rupees just to set up a small tailoring shop for himself, because he was from a below poverty line person. He was a poor person, he was begging on the streets, and this person just wanted a 50,000 rupee loan just because he now had that skills of tailoring and he can open up a small tailor shop for himself. But the banks do not grant him loan just because they say that this person does not have anything, and how can this person pay us the collateral which we want. So this sort of an attitude is not at all accepted, and ease of doing business is very much affected in this. The seventh point is nature of people. Now, this is not a negative comment on all Indian citizens, but yes, many people in India are not at all supportive of entrepreneurship. They are not at all supportive of people who want to grow. They are not at all supportive of people who want to make some changes. And because of this, startups and new business owners have to face a lot of problem from society, from the traditional thinking of society, from the conservative thinking of society. Society in India is not at all accepting entrepreneurs. They are not at all. Yes, there are changes coming on now. There are slowly and steadily everyone is accepting entrepreneurship, but the rate of acceptance is very slow. Point number 8 is adapting change. India is very slow when it comes to adapting change. The biggest example of this is electric cars have been introduced in US, Europe in the year 2015-16, and now even China is having electric cars, Japan and all these countries are having electric cars. But in India, we are still waiting for electric cars to come here. We are still waiting for companies like Tesla, for companies like Toyota and Volkswagen and all to introduce their cars here. Yes, there are one or two electric cars in the market, but they are not as efficient and as effective. They are based on technologies which were there 4 or 5 years back. This was one example, but there are many other things which I can tell you, which clearly proves that India is very slow when it comes to adapting new technology and adapting new changes. Point number 9 is low confidence of people. The confidence of people in India is not as high as like we can see with the entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley or in Europe or in Australia, in Japan, in South Korea and all these places. Because Indian society has never accepted entrepreneurship as a full-fledged career, as everyone was like, you should go for a job, you should go for a government job, you should be secured in life. And everyone thought that business is sort of a risk. It is playing with your life, but actually it is not at all playing with your life. If your business does well, then you are playing in millions. You know that you are in a position of making changes in this country. The 10th point is the education system. Education system in India is, I do not think it is that much good. The whole focus of the education system in India is towards memorizing. A person who has studied from class 1 to post graduation in India know that no college, no school gives them the training of going into entrepreneurship. They are not at all encouraging any student to go towards entrepreneurship. Yes, there may be some colleges, there may be some schools which have entrepreneurship as a subject, which may be teaching kids to try to create jobs rather than seeking jobs. But those are very small number of schools and colleges. So there are some changes which need to be done in the education system as well to encourage the future generation at least to go towards entrepreneurship and become job creators rather than job seekers. So guys, these were 10 points why I think that there is no ease of doing business in India. If you have something more to add, please comment down below. Please like this video and share this video with all your friends and family, and also with people who are either entrepreneurs or either looking to start off their own company or are interested in entrepreneurship. I will see you in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.